We close to everybody? Okay, day 4, practice 4. I just had some good energy out there today, and I know these guys are anxious to put on full pads, and we'll do that tomorrow for the first time. So happy where we're at, and you can shoot me a question.
Yeah, Jonathan, obviously you're 4 days into practice. What have you liked so far, and what have been your biggest concerns?
I thought the physicality defensively today was great. Really liked kind of the energy they're playing with, and did some inside run drill today. The defense kind of owned that. That stood out. Some of our receiver play on the youngster receivers are standing out to me and playing at a high level. I think our buy-in on special teams has been awesome after 4 days. These guys wanting to contribute, finding a way on the field, especially if they're not standing at the top of the depth chart positionally. And then concern-wise, you're always just trying to look at this depth thing, and each guy continuing to grow, and every position group is going to need some depth this year with all that's going on.
You mentioned that tomorrow you're starting pads. What do you look for when you guys start going into pads?
It's not going to be a whole lot different in regard. Like, we're not going to live tackle tomorrow. But anytime you got all the equipment on, it continues to make it more physical. And so I'd count on that to happen tomorrow.
Hey, Coach Smith, do you have any injury update for us? Anybody sit out today?
No real updates. I'll let you guys know a long-term thing. We're getting to the point of camp where we're going to have some bumps and bruises, and maybe a guy's limited, and maybe we don't let him do as much on the day-to-day, but nothing major.
Coach, is there a position depth-wise that you feel most comfortable with?
Linebacker. Just off the top of my head, I think we got good numbers there, inside and outside linebacker.
Do you know when you're going to have your first live scrimmage?
We're going to do a couple of situational tackling leading into our first live scrimmage, which will be Saturday. So won't live tackle tomorrow, probably the next day a little bit, probably in some drill-specific things, and then we'll live tackle on Saturday, scrimmage-wise.
What freshmen have kind of caught your eye 4 days in?
John Miller at linebacker. Good 4 days, made a play yesterday that showed his athleticism. Zariah Beeson continues to show up making plays. Sione made some good play today. Those three stand out to me. Shoot, Ben Goldberson did have a couple good throws today. I will give him credit on that. It was pretty wet. It was raining most of the time, and he put a couple good shots over the middle of the field today in the team period.
What in regard to Brandon Kipper, is he playing both sides of the line at this point, or is he starting to settle in at one of the two tackle spots?
Yeah, he's probably been more at right tackle the first 4 days. We will definitely look to be able to move him to left if needed. Joshua Gray right now is taking the first reps at left tackle, and he's looked good. So Kip's mostly been at right tackle the first 4 days.
So would you say that if you can find a good left tackle, you'd like to keep Brandon at right tackle?
Yeah, well, because we do think Joshua Gray's a natural left tackle, and so if he gets to the point we feel great about him, we'd love to leave Kip over at the right side.
So what does your left guard and center look like right now?
Yeah, good rotation in there with Eldridge, Noose getting some reps, Corbin Sorensen getting some reps at the guard spots. Noose has played a little guard and center. Kalihi Montalban is getting some reps there in at guard. So it's kind of a mix, about four or five guys for those three spots.
Clark, is he in the mix there?
Not currently. He'd been unavailable here at practice, so not currently.
What have you seen out of Sorensen so far that you like?
I'm sorry, say it again.
What have you seen out of Sorensen so far that you like?
Yeah, I liked his buy-in, being new, kind of learning the scheme, hasn't had major issues learning the scheme, can play physical. We have moved him inside at both spots. So he's been a nice addition.
What have you seen so far out of your three quarterbacks that you'd be looking at? Is Tristan kind of still the leader at this point?
I think it's almost a day-to-day thing. I thought Chance had his best day since we've had him here yesterday. You can tell he's just getting more comfortable, made some big-time throws yesterday. And again, this install keeps on piling up, but he had a lot of time in the meetings and things, and you can tell that he's dove into that, understand the schemes. Nick Moore did have a great play today on a scramble that turned into about a 40-yard play. Be curious how the defense felt on it because I didn't blow the whistle. They thought maybe he was down. I didn't think he was, so it turned into an explosive. So each of those guys had their moments, and we like kind of the progression we've got out of the quarterback room.
Obviously, injuries could play a role in this, but how do you keep everybody satisfied at outside linebacker, just given all the players you have at that position?
Yeah, you got to make your reps count. Those guys got to feel like they're going to contribute on special teams as well, because we play 2 outside backers at a time. There is a rotation. Tibbs always does a great job with that. But when you get your turn at outside backer, you got to make it count because it's pretty competitive.
How has Hamilca looked the first 4 days?
Yeah, that group in general, it's always a limited fashion, but those guys have been working hard. It's just amazing. He changing his body, and really each group, each has changed their body. But I look at John McCartan the same way. So we're pleased with that group in general.
Coach,
When I asked about freshmen earlier, I guess I should also said like some of the JC guys that might be sophomores. Any of those guys stuck out to you at all? Or
Yeah, Alton Julian, he's moving around well. I think he's going to contribute a big way in special teams. He's done some good things. Tavis Shippen, he actually got a little bit under the weather a couple of weeks ago, so we kept him from being in maybe the best shape heading into day one. And after 4 days now, Shippen's looked well to contribute there on the junior college front. And then I mentioned Chance already at quarterback.
How have those JC DBs looked? And do you feel like you're kind of settling in on kind of what that defensive backfield might look like?
Yeah, it's been competitive. Nashawn and Rajon in particular, you can tell that he's getting more comfortable, pretty competitive in the one-on-one. Ronald Harge is out there, adding to that competition of the room. I think Dunny had a pick today. Alex Austin actually has had a couple of picks in the first 4 days. So we've got some guys that are wanting to play and working to compete to get a spot. And I feel like we've added to that depth much more than we've had in our first 2 years here.
Any more questions?
Okay, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.